I just thought I'd actually give a shout out to the amazing people who are texting and asking me how it's going and have supported me. So, big shout out to Jill and Simon, Indra, Dom, Nico, George, Selena, um, who else? But Lou, anyone else I've heard from. Just want to say thank you for checking in with me. Penny, um, yeah, today's been the best day so far, and apparently it just gets better from here on. So we started at 6 a.m. with the walking meditation. Now I've done Dr. Joe's walking meditations and it was nothing like today. Doing it in a crowd of people, walking up and down the Thames with security guard, they had crowd control and security guards looking at us like we're complete nutters. Actually, I didn't notice they were doing that because I wasn't looking at them, but apparently they were. If you've ever seen this or you want to experience it, I'm sure if you look up on YouTube or just Google Dr. Joe walking meditations, you'll probably see some pictures. But it's like being part of a murmuration. We start standing with maybe your hands on your heart. Well, normally you do that because he's getting you to get into your heart center. And we've all got our eyes closed. Some people have got their eye patches on. And then you just start walking, and you're opening your eyes, and staying in that state. So the point of the walking meditations are teaching you to walk in a meditative state, teaching you to be awake in 3D, staying in that state of bliss, joy, calm, all of that stuff that we all want to live in all the time. So that's the whole point of practicing it. But he gets you, different meditations do different things. So he gets you to vision that you're walking as your future self, you're walking into your future. So as you're walking, you're imagining who you want to walk as, walking in the glory of someone who's being healed, walking in the wholeness of someone who just is pure love. He's got loads of amazing words on the meditation. Walk as an alchemist, walk as a mystic, walk as the most abundant person you can imagine, walk in joy, all that kind of stuff. So my heart cracked open just witnessing everyone else doing it, even though you're not looking at them and you're in your own trance-like state. You can see people walking past doing this, and you can see people sobbing, and you can see people getting out of their wheelchairs and walking. You can see people just standing there with their hands on their heart, just tears streaming down their face with joy. It moves you so much. So, to start the day like that was bliss, absolute bliss. And the whole point of Dr. Joe's work is about changing the habit of being yourself. So you've got to do something that's out of your comfort zone. You're changing your habits. And the whole week we've been changing our habits because we're completely out of our routine and we're not at home, we're not having to deal with all the normal stuff. So, that was really beautiful, really beautiful. And then what did we do this morning? He talked a lot about the chemicals in the body. So, opening your heart creates oxytocin, which has a knock-on effect of creating nitric oxide, which then kind of goes up to the brain and resets trauma in the amygdala, which is really interesting as someone who's done trauma training. Just do meditation. It's like, why'd I waste all that money? And he talks a lot about doing this frees you from the 3D program, and he talked a lot about how he was in lockdown still doing groups, going to beaches and doing walking meditations with groups and kind of getting people going, you're an absolute nutter, you're mad, but doing this work boosts your immune system, keeps you healthy. Why would you not want to keep doing it? So I quite like the fact that he was saying that, because he's obviously a bit of a rebel. And he talked a lot about like TV programming, and kind of if you're lying on the sofa and you're half asleep, your brain's almost going into delta, which is, that's when you're most susceptible. So if you're watching an ad obviously in America they have ads for drugs, don't they? It's crazy over there. I'm just going to have a drink. Turmeric latte. So yeah, it's mad. He told some amazing stories. So one of them was about, I'll try and find the link for this because he did show us a video of it, but this guy invented a robot that would go left 50% of the time, go right 50% of the time. That was what it was programmed to do. It had a computer program, and he put it in this little area that was fenced off, and he tracked it, and it went all over the place, but you could tell that half the time it was going left and half the time it was going right. And then he dressed the robot as a chicken and hatched some chicks around it, so the chicks imprinted on the robot. Then he took the chicks and put them in a cage next to this little area that the robot was in, and then mapped the robot. The robot spent most of its time in front of the chicks. So the chicks were using their hearts and their tiny little brains to change how that robot was programmed to move. Now, if a tiny little chick with a tiny little heart and a tiny little brain can change the program of a computer, what do you think you can change? What do you think we are capable of? I just was blown away by that. And then there was another hilarious story where he talks about, he went off, he talks a lot about his own practice with the meditation and how, he would just try again, and he would get up at like 4 a.m. because that's when you've got the most melatonin going, and lots of stories like that, and how he failed, because we need to hear those stories because no one's just going to get it like that. But yeah, there was this story where he said he went off in his RV to the Olympic mountains, wherever they are, and he sat up in the shade on this mountain top doing his practice all day. Every time his thought went, he would start from the beginning. So the Dr. Joe's practice is about getting into the quantum field. You have to go through the eye of the needle, which is nothingness, which is kind of the pineal gland, perennials. You're firing all the right chemistry in your brain, you're firing all the right chemistry from your heart, and you should be able to get into nothingness, which is nothingness is the eye of the needle, basically. And once you get through nothingness, you end up in the quantum, which is everything, everywhere, everyone, all at once. So yeah, he said he did that. He's walking down the mountain feeling really chilled. He starts thinking about what he's going to eat, and he constantly takes the piss out of diets, because I guess if you've got a supernatural body, you can eat what you want. So he's like, yeah, I'm walking towards my RV, and I'm thinking about having a glass of wine, and I'm thinking about eating some dairy, and I'm thinking about eating some gluten. And then he starts thinking about the bread that he's bought, which is really rubbish, and how he'd much rather have some really nice artisan bread. And he's just thinking about this bread that he'd really like to eat. And literally, out of nowhere, a loaf of bread drops in front of him. And I was, we're all pissing ourselves laughing, because he's like, no way. And he was like, someone's bread here, someone lose their bread. And he's in the middle of nowhere. So this is like manna from heaven. He's got people getting out of wheelchairs and walking. He's got blind people seeing again. It's like bread's dropping out of the sky. And he said it was like really nice peasant bread, and he just picked it up, blew it off, and went and ate it with his dairy and his wine. And he's just like, if I can do that, you can do it. We can all do it. It's all possible. But he said, but the thing is, once you've done it and you try and recreate it, it's never going to happen again, because then you're trying. And if you're trying, you're in lack. So you've got to stay in that vibration of wholeness for whatever you want. So yeah, the next meditation we did after that was when we got us to think of 3 things that we want. So he's saying, if you want love, actually what underneath that, you want joy. If you want abundance, what's underneath that is freedom, because abundance gives freedom. Or maybe you want abundance so you can help others and give money away. Maybe you just want to be giving. And he talks about, just really staying open to opportunities. So we had to write down 3 things that we wanted to work with creating, and he talked us through, all the meditations. He talks us through the music with the meditations is amazing. So when we're doing the breath work, we always start with opening the heart, and then we go into the breath work, and the breath work music is really powerful. It's really like dynamic music. And then he talked us through this, getting into nothing, and then you're you're getting into the feeling of what you want to create. So it's not visualization, it's always about feeling what you want to create. And I just couldn't do it. It just wasn't happening. I couldn't get comfortable. I moved from my chair to the floor, then I got pins and needles. It was just one of those. It was like, ah. And then when he got to the third one, he was talking about just staying open to opportunity, and the music changed, and I think the change in music, just something switched in my head. I also bought myself some special Joe Dispenza eye masks, an eye mask, 30 quid, because I thought that will really help my meditation. I'm going to have a super meditation with my special Joe Dispenza eye mask. I forgot to bring anything with me, and I've just been putting my scarf over my head, and it's been a faff. So it does, you know, if you've got something on over your eyes, it really blocks out. You're trying to work with blocking out your senses. So yeah, on that bit, I just went completely into darkness and completely open to whatever opportunities come in my way, and, you know, got a lot of vibration and energy moving through my body, which is lovely. Then we had a little break, so there's always a little dance at every start of every session, like a little disco going on, which gets everyone's vibe up. Food today was a bit rubbish, so I fasted. My body's just been really out of whack with getting up so early in the morning, and I just thought I'd give my body a bit of a break today and just stay on liquids, so which felt good. And this afternoon was so exciting. We did kaleidoscope visualizations. Well, not visualizations, he doesn't call them that. We just it went into trance basically with these kaleidoscope pictures, and then there was an image in the pictures that we had to focus on. So the first image coming out of this kaleidoscope was someone, just a body basically, just a face with the third eye, with this kaleidoscope coming out of the third eye, and he's just like, what's that person experiencing? What's that person feeling? Feel what they're experiencing. Obviously they look like they're in complete bliss. And then you close your eyes and you take that image, it's imprinted on you. But he's also doing a lot of subliminal messaging while you're in that state. So he's just saying things like, you're worthy, you're divine being, all that kind of stuff. And you're opening your brain, I don't know, I can't remember. Stuff about your brain, stuff about your heart. And then you open your eyes again and you watch another one. And for the second one, I actually took my glasses off, so it was quite blurry, but I felt like I could really kind of zone into it and trance out a bit more. And the next image in that one was someone with, you could just see all this energy coming out of their heart, and it was going up to their brain, and then the energy coming out of their brain, and it was beautiful artwork. And then all around them, their energy field was a kaleidoscope. So again, he's just like, what do you think that person is experiencing? What do you think they're feeling? They just look like they were in bliss, utter ecstasy, expansion, bliss. So then you close your eyes and you take yourself into that space. And then he always gets you, I don't know if I said this on the other video, he gets you to lie down after every meditation for about 20 minutes. And he talked a bit more today about why he does that. So basically, you've created these chemical changes in your body, and you want to give your body a chance to actually integrate that. And I'm one for, I do my meditation, then I get up and I'm on with my day. So that was really interesting. And today, after that kaleidoscope experience, probably after lying down for about 20 minutes, I started feeling like electrical impulses, energy moving, heat, just kind of like sparks. And I was like, whoa, this is interesting. And, another thing he says, if you get experiences like that feel weird, he's just like, go for it. You're going into the unknown. This is something unknown. That's what we're aiming for. We're aiming to create the unknown. So just let your body do what it needs to do. So that was really nice. And then we finished early, which was quite nice. I mean, I say early, it was probably about 7. And then I went and I had a little chat to Dr. Joe's personal assistant, and I'm going to have another chat with her in the morning about whether they want me to get on stage and share my stories. We're doing coherence healing tomorrow, which I received when I was going through my cancer treatment. And it's going to be really interesting to see what they do, because obviously I was on the other end of it, just receiving and distant receiving as well. We're going to have people in the room tomorrow, and we're going to be sending them healing, and everyone's a healer. So I'm really looking forward to that tomorrow, and a bit excited. I was going to say nervous, but it's, it's excitement. It's, change the story about maybe getting up on stage with Dr. Joe. And he's tiny. He's this tiny little guy. Maybe even smaller than me. So anyway, I shall give you the rest of the info tomorrow. I'm just looking through my notes to see if there was anything I wanted to share. Oh, we had this nice picture. It's probably not that good, but it's a little stick man in there. That's the heart. That's the head. So you're saying when you're in your brain and you're sending energy from your brain, that's going out into the quantum. And when you're in your heart and you're generating energy in your heart, that's drawing what you want to you. So he did that as a graphic. So the energy from the brain was going out and the energy from the heart was coming in. So it's like your heart's the magnet bringing in what you want. And I just thought that was a really good graphic to share. But I'll leave it there. It's been a bit of a long video, and I want to also give you a clip of us doing the dancing, which I took today. So I'm going to add that on so you can see what the atmosphere is like. We're all whoop whoop, little disco 4 times a day or something. Anyway, lots of love to you all, and there'll be another video tomorrow.